All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the podcast. I actually can't believe we're at 7 already. It's kind of scary a little bit how fast it's gone. But hope everyone's doing all right. It is, we did change the release time around just a little bit. We're doing Wednesday now, just because it works out better for us schedule-wise, and apparently uploading on Wednesday is better algorithm-wise. We'll see if that makes a difference.
We'll see.
Yeah. But the shorts are doing really well, which is awesome. We're getting a lot of new eyes on us, which is cool. Hopefully, some new eyes on the podcast as well. How's your week been? Anything new this week, really, or?
Uneventful for the most part. I've just kind of been on that school grind. That's about it, really. It's been super snowy out, so I haven't really gone out anywhere or done anything. Nothing exciting going on over here.
Can't say there's anything new for me either, really. I mean, went on a long walk. It's about all that's new in my week. I went on a 3-hour walk and got blisters on my feet, so
nice.
That was cool. But nothing new. Just fucked up schedule and trying to balance things still and still failing. But it's an ongoing battle. Today is Monday. We just finished watching a lot of things. There's a lot of things to talk about.
Indeed.
I guess we'll start with the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Super Bowl. Chiefs won.
Chiefs did it.
They did it. A lot of people doubted them in my friend group. Fuck all of you.
Hey, you doubted them as well.
I only doubted them because I didn't know if Mahomes was going to be healthy.
Yeah, the same reason we doubted them. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He wasn't hurt during the Bengals, was he? Or no, he was, wasn't he? He got hurt on the Jags game, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Chiefs won. It was a good game. It was a really good game.
Yeah.
The Eagles kept it close. I think the game would have been a little different if Mahomes was healthy. But, ended it with a field goal and won it last second. And I don't know. It's probably one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in a few years.
Yeah, we've had
maybe since the last time Chiefs were there, the last time the Chiefs won.
Yeah. Last year's wasn't too exciting, if memory serves. I think the Rams really just kind of shut out the Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to, all the playoff games this year were, they either get blown out or, it's the last second score, but, a good 3/4 of them were just blowouts, so.
Yeah.
It was nice that the final big one was down to the last second.
Yeah.
And
it was great.
Yeah. Luckily he didn't slip.
Yeah, thank God. I guess we could talk about that turf a little bit. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. I mean, I know they used a new turf.
Yeah.
And all that, but I guess just why?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you just use... I don't know. I find it odd that they spent all that money. I think it said $800,000.
Yeah, preparing
on a new
field.
turf. But why? I guess maybe to...
Why bust out the new turf on the biggest game?
I don't know. And then paint the field as well, recently before the game. It just seems odd. But, I don't know. I guess we could talk a little bit about that call that happened at the end of the game that a lot of people are upset about. Yeah. So for people, if they didn't watch the Super Bowl or they don't know what we're talking about, there was was it holding call? Pass interference call?
Holding, yeah.
So there was a holding call towards the end of the game, near the end zone, when the Chiefs were at the end zone. And it's tough because he was holding, but it wasn't a blatant penalty. I don't know. It's a tough call to make.
They were talking about how, the officiating crew were saying that, technically, by the very fine print, it is a holding, but it's something that even in the regular season, they would almost never call.
Yeah.
Which is tough. The player admitted that he had held him, but again, like when we watched it, like we
It
were like,
looked-
yes, like a penalty, and then we saw the
Yeah.
replay and we were like, oh, that's like
Yeah,
your
that's some
season's
bullshit.
lost because of that bullshit call. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough.
It's tough. I mean, there's always calls like this in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. There's always a
Yeah.
call that everyone's
Mhm.
like, fucking rigged bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
I get it. If I'm a Philly fan and that's how we go out, I'm probably pretty upset, you know. But
Mhm.
it's just tough. I don't know if that's why they won the game. I don't know if the Chiefs would have lost if they didn't get that holding call. But it definitely made it a bit easier for them to win. I mean,
their defense would have had to make a stop. It's tough with like a minute, some left, like a minute 30 the Eagles would have had.
yeah,
Which, I mean, they were doing better second half. It's just tough. Like,
yeah. It's just a tough
don't get
call.
much of a
It
chance,
happens. Yeah. But I don't think it takes away from. I don't think it takes away from what the Chiefs did that game. I think it was
No.
it was still a tough game for them to win. Like if anything, they were kind of in the like disadvantage that game, in my opinion, just because they
Oh, yeah.
didn't have healthy quarterback, and it's tough when your quarterback is the main guy. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
they kind of rely on Mahomes to do everything. And I know they talked about it before the game that Mahomes kind of said, you know, I'm not Superman. I don't have to do everything. I didn't rely on my teammates enough before. But
Yep.
still, you're kind of relying on him, you know, to
hmm
be healthy, run for those first downs. It's tough when the other quarterback is basically like, I mean, they have similar play styles. I don't know if Hurts is as dynamic. Goddamn.
hmm
As dynamic as Mahomes. Like, he doesn't really scramble as much. He's more of just, if he has to scramble, he'll run it.
Yeah.
But it's still tough when the other quarterback is healthy and can run for those quick first downs, or their QB sneak. I mean, I don't know
Oh, yeah.
how the Eagles got so good at QB sneaking, but it's like guaranteed first down for them every time.
100%.
But yeah, I still think it was a tough game, and it was really fun to watch. Yeah, I think it's probably the funnest Super Bowl to watch since the Niners Chiefs game, and that was however long ago that was, 4 years ago, something like that. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Three or four. Something like that.
Yeah, I think 3
This
years
is
ago.
three.
Or
So
something like that.
3 or 4 years ago, long time ago, longer than I want it to be. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It's nice to see them get a ring again. You know, I think
Yep.
it's bound to happen, like at some point again. But I don't know. I think you were kind of right. I think maybe Mahomes is the next guy. You know, like the next dynasty player, I guess. Dynasty Chiefs are the next dynasty team.
hmm
We'll just have to see. You know, I think they kind of proved with Tyreek Hill leaving
I was gonna say, yeah.
that they're capable, regardless of kind of who's on the roster. Which is
Mhm. And they had a lot of people step up that game as well that
it did, yeah.
hadn't been performing as well in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean Tony.
Darius Tony's
yeah, it's
punt
crazy.
return.
Yeah,
Juju's like 6 catches in that second
Mhm.
half.
yeah,
I mean, you know Kelsey's gonna do his thing. Pacheco, his runs that second half.
yeah.
Everyone
Their
kind of stepped
defensive
up
player,
there.
the Bolton
Yeah,
guy, he
Bolton.
was going off. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, they really. Yeah, I mean they went off. I mean, I think it really proved with. I think a lot of people were worried when Tyreek left
Yep.
that they weren't going to be as good of a team, and arguably they weren't. They weren't. It wasn't as easy to
Mhm.
win, but they definitely had. I don't know. It almost benefited them. I feel like because you have a spread of like players that you can target now.
Yep.
Instead of, it's just still tough like with Kelsey. Like, you know, they're going to put 2 guys on Kelsey regardless of the play.
Mhm.
And like, he's good enough to break it a lot of the time, but there's still 2 guys on Kelsey every fucking play.
Yeah.
So it's almost it hinders you a little bit when you have a player like Tyreek or Kelsey because you almost can't really rely on them that often.
But
like-
we did also see how Andy Reid made it work though. Like when you have, we saw that play like 3 guys going after Kelsey, and then you have one
It's
guy
true.
just wide open on the. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you kind of, it's a benefit and a curse because you can't target that good player that's going to get you crazy yards,
Yeah.
but you can also rely on them to block him every time. So it leaves a lot of other people open. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. It's weird.
But yeah, we talked about him being the next Brady. I'll read off some of his stats for you here now that he's won. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 rings, 2 MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, 5 AFC title games all at home, so he's been the number 1 seed, or the higher seed, 3-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowls, 2 times passing touchdown leader, and he has the NFL record for most yards in a season.
Wow. Crazy. He hasn't been in the league that long either. Like,
no, he's only 27, I think, so.
That's that's wild, man. It's not another quarterback out there right now that's really doing anything like that.
No.
Like, Hurts, this was his first breakout year, really. I mean, he didn't do crazy. He didn't even play that much last year, right? I mean,
I don't think so, no.
So, yeah. I mean, you love to see it, man. I watched the Chiefs be trash for so long. I mean, it's good to see them do well. But I don't know, we'll see. You never know. I mean, it's tough. I get a little worried when I think about how old Andy Reid is.
Yeah.
And, he'll probably retire within the next couple of years, you would think.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes me a little worried, but who knows? I mean, I'd hope that he kind of passes the keys on type of thing and he doesn't just dip out. But we'll just have to see. I don't know. We'll see how Mahomes is with another coach and how that goes. But it's hard for me to imagine that it could get much worse, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll just have to see. But yeah, great. I mean, it was a great Super Bowl, great team. It was just all around fun to watch. It was really competitive, aside from that call, which is tough. But otherwise, the game was pretty solid. So shout out to the Eagles fans who got fucked. You know, it is what it is. I mean, at least, you know, the Eagles are probably one of those teams that you'll be able to look at for the next few years at least. I mean,
oh, for sure.
I don't think if you're an Eagles fan, you get bummed out about this too much. Like, your team still made it to the Super Bowl and did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's Hurts' first Super Bowl, and he didn't really make that many mistakes. Like, it's not like he really fucked up much. So, I think if you're an Eagles fan, you're still excited to see what's gonna come from this team. I think there's still some great shit that's gonna come from this team. I don't think it's over for them by any means.
They'll be back.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I do question what's gonna happen with some of the other QBs in the league. Like, I think we have Aaron Rodgers, which probably won't stay on the Packers. I do wonder what's gonna happen to Allen, because I know he's probably like a Buffalo franchise player now. Like, he's probably not leaving Buffalo anytime soon, but you do kind of start to question, is he really going to be a big player from now? Like, are there other QBs that, you know, you might have a QB coming in from college and you say, well, Allen's not really getting us anywhere. Do we put him somewhere else? You know, you start to wonder what happens to some of these QBs that otherwise we thought were going to be at least get to the Super Bowl once. But you're looking at their stats and you're like, well, kind of get fucked out of it a lot. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Derek Carr looking for a spot still.
Derek Carr looking for a spot, yeah.
I think he tried out with the Saints earlier this week, or he is going to be.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson might be wanting out of Baltimore.
He's been there a long time.
Or it sounds like they might not want to pay his contract.
Yeah.
Interesting to see where he would end up. Or, I don't know. I don't know if Tyler Huntley's good enough to make your starter, but
probably not, but I don't know.
It's going to be a big switch up.
Lamar Jackson on a team like Buffalo would be interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that would be... I don't know. They're so locked into Josh Allen. I can't see, like, those big three, like Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, making any changes there for at least like 2-3 more years.
I mean, Lamar Jackson could go to like San Francisco unless they're gonna count on Purdy.
Oh yeah, Jimmy G I think is trying out with the Raiders or the Saints. Maybe I saw. Nice. I don't know how many of their younger quarterbacks are still. How long their process to get back is.
Yeah. I do wonder what's going to happen with the Dolphins, because
I mean,
It's tough. I don't know if they make a change just based on their injuries this year. Like it was a shitty year for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a Dolphins change. It's hard for me to imagine they get rid of Tua, but just have to see what's going on there. I don't know. Be an interesting offseason. There are a lot of changes that are gonna happen. Yeah. So just have to see. Have to see how this next season is. I don't know. It did. I do kind of want to talk about or ask you how did the Super Bowl feel when you watched the whole season? Pretty much. I mean, this is the most either of us have watched an NFL season probably ever, or paid attention to player stats. And I mean, we had our fantasy league, so we were kind of keeping an eye on things a little more.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, did that change the Super Bowl a little bit for you, kind of knowing?
Yeah, in a little sense. I feel like it's a bit more rewarding, I guess. Like, either you'll see, like, a player that you had on your fantasy league, and you're like, hey, like, I want him to do well. Or you're just, like, you see all these names, and, like, beforehand you'd watch the Super Bowl, you'd be, like, hoping for a team, per se. But, like, now I'm like, I know who this player is. I know who this player is. Like, I know what kind of play, like, they may be looking to run here.
You know their patterns a little better.
Yeah, it's interesting to have a bit, like, deeper knowledge of, like, what can I expect to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, I don't know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used to only watch Chiefs games, really, would be what my NFL extent would be. I'd be like, I'll watch when the Chiefs play, but otherwise I'm not that interested unless there was a team that was looking really good. But this year I think was the first time I really watched pretty much every game. Maybe I missed a week or two. But pretty much watched every game, and I don't know, it was interesting having more knowledge about the teams you're watching. Like, it was fun during the playoffs too, kind of being like, oh, the Jets are gonna run this, or the Giants are gonna run this. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool, kind of knowing what the patterns were and what was gonna happen, and thinking about each team's patterns and how they were gonna match up with each other. It was pretty fun. I think if I have time next year, I'll definitely try to do the same. I don't know if I'll have the time, but hopefully I do. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun. It definitely added another level to it that I hadn't experienced before. And I had some more investment almost in the game. So it was interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I won't do it with the NBA, like you said before. I'm sorry, there's too many games in the NBA. Yeah, I'm not. I'll watch the playoffs, but otherwise,
82 games per team? Nah,
yeah,
I don't have the
that's
time.
just too much. It's just too much. But I have an NBA fantasy team, and I haven't looked. After like 2 weeks, I started seeing points like 1,500 and 1,600, and I was like, this is out of my league. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like, I just left it. But yeah, I think we're also gonna be joining a different fantasy league next year too, which will be fun.
Indeed.
A little higher stakes, So that'll be fun. Well, is that it for the Super Bowl? I guess we kind of covered it all. I mean, there weren't any really interesting commercials this year, in my opinion.
No. Any thoughts on the halftime show?
I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was the best halftime show I've ever seen. I would say that it was a little underwhelming in the sense of, like, I feel like when I watch the halftime show, there's always outfit changes and stage changes, and they're always getting, kind of innovative of how they use the stadium. Granted, Rihanna did a cool job with the levitating fucking stages and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought it was a little, like, it didn't feel like a halftime show. It just felt like a little concert.
Yeah, it wasn't as
dynamic. It was like a special concert. Yeah.
As like Super Bowl halftimes in the past. But, I mean, she has the catalog of enough songs to, like, give us a good concert.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot how many hits Rihanna had. Like, they kept playing new songs, and I was like, oh, yeah, that is a Rihanna song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit, that's a big one, too. Like, it is crazy how dynamic and successful her catalog is. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think there's been better in the past. I think I saw Rolling Stones or Billboard or something ranked it as like the 8th best of all time, which I don't think I've watched enough to even have a top 10 list myself.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was bad. Didn't think it was good. I think she has a lot of hits, and It's tough too with her being pregnant. I think it probably lowered the potential for a dynamic performance. Like she can't really dance around. She can't really do crazy outfit changes as much. Stuff like that. So, that definitely kind of hindered it probably. But I think for her being pregnant, it was a good show. Like,
oh yeah,
for what the situation was. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't good. Wasn't bad. I know a lot of people thought it was really good, but they're probably also really big Rihanna fans. Like,
yeah.
But no, thought it was all right. It wasn't great. I think The Weeknd's has probably been my favorite the last few years.
Yeah.
And then obviously the fucking Katy Perry, the notorious Katy Perry one. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun. I would really love to see a Drake Super Bowl halftime show. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I saw a prediction post on Instagram today. It was like, prediction: Drake's got the next Super Bowl halftime show.
Be really fun. I would be interested to see what he'd do, just because he's such a corny motherfucker. Like, he'd probably have a car on the stage and like.
Oh yeah.
It would be hilarious. It would be funny. But yeah, I don't know. Thought it was all right. But
nice.
I guess that's pretty much it for the Super Bowl, huh? It's done. We gotta wait till September? It's usually
September's the start.
So, yeah, interesting timing for that. And
yeah,
my personal life, but that's okay. I guess we'll move on to do The Last of Us. I guess we'll do our TV show, our entertainment run. We watched the newest episode of The Last of Us a little late because our friend is never on time. But we watched that. I thought it was a good episode. Just another banger. I mean, it was really dark, For anyone who, I'm sorry if I'm gonna spoil it, but we meet Henry and he pops himself, absolutely pops his brain out. But it's a tough one. It was really dark, but it was done really well, I thought.
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
I think it works a lot better because the episode 4 before was kind of like a build up for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like seeing the different perspective from Henry and Sam.
Yeah.
And then that I don't know, they did that nighttime scene. Nighttime shots are getting a lot better in like movie and TV in general. Like it looked really nice.
It did, yeah.
But as far as the story goes, it was a tough end. I remember from the game. The clickers and bloater coming from underground, I thought was done really nice.
Yeah, that was cool. Seeing them like pour out of the ground like that. It was awesome. Yeah.
And like really the little screams you heard like before you saw them, just like building it up and getting it nice and tense.
Yeah.
Interesting. They made our boy Sam deaf.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a change from the game, but I think it works. I think it worked nicely, actually, for me.
I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was a crazy change. I mean, it doesn't affect much, but I thought it was nice that they hired a deaf actor
as well,
and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. It was just a different way to kind of go about the story. But I'm surprised how I get a little wary about when you have characters only show up for an episode, because in the past I've felt that it's tough to connect emotionally to a character when they're only in there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But they've been doing a really good job at making me connect with characters in a pretty short amount of time. It's the second time they've brought characters in the beginning of an episode and killed them at the end of an episode, and it's been pretty emotionally tough. So I kind of give them a bit of an applause for that, because that's kind of tough to do, I mean, a lot of times you have characters throughout entire seasons and they die and you kind of don't give a shit. So I think for them to create an emotional connection within a certain amount of time of just an episode is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I thought that was definitely a bit of a flex of their writing. I thought the sniper scene was cool. That was in the game. I thought they felt kind of video gamey, but not too crazy on the nose.
Oh yeah.
It was cool. Thought it was great. But we'll see. I don't know how many episodes. I forgot. I think there's 8 or 10.
I think it's an 8-episode season, so we're running out.
We're running out of time there. I am a little interested to see if how they're gonna do a season 2. You have to imagine with a show this successful, they're gonna do a season 2.
It's been announced already. Yeah.
Okay, well, so I don't know if they'll jump to the second game, or if they'll
I think
not
it'd have
finish
to be,
the story this season. I
because
don't
we've
know.
seen trailers of like the ending like chapter of the game already,
Right.
just like
Yeah.
little segments, without spoiling. But so I feel like they've had it planned out for the first season is the first game,
Yeah.
assuming second season, second game.
I am a little worried if the second season is the second game.
Hmm.
Just because I don't feel that it was as strong of a story, or the way that they told it in the game wasn't as good as it could have been. But thankfully, they're kind of just taking the best elements of the game and then tweaking them to make it work in a TV format. So maybe it'll be better than I think it will be. And they'll kind of see the changes they should have made and make them. But it does make me wonder if they're going to recast Ellie and Joel. And no, I don't mean to spoil things, but like, Joel won't be in a lot of the second season. You know what I mean? So
Ooh, you shouldn't have said that.
you didn't know that?
No, I knew that.
Okay, bro, the game's been out so long. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but we're talking to TV goers here, you know.
I'll put a spoiler thing. But yeah, so I'm curious how they'll do that. If they'll choose to make that choice again, or if they'll kind of change things around. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But episode was great, I thought. Every episode's been pretty good. So we'll hope that they keep that track record, and I think it will be. I think it'll be a 10 out of 10 show if they would have to fuck up tremendously.
Yeah.
And I don't even see how they would manage that. Like, it's kind of tough to fuck it up at this point. So
the preview for the next episode looks like it's going to be something a little different than what we've seen in the game.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of skipping an element or changing it around.
Yeah, even then, I don't think it can go anywhere below like an 8 out of 10 for me, unless like they absolutely just mess it up. But
yeah,
I'm pretty locked into it being a 10 out of 10 show.
I agree. I think it would be they'd have to say like, oh, it was all a dream or some shit like that. I think, for me to put it lower than an 8. But no, I think it's good. It's good for TV in general. It's good for video game fans. It's been a banger year so far. So,
indeed.
I guess we could move on and talk about You.
Yeah,
not You, but the TV show You.
Speaking of good TV.
Yeah. We've watched only 2 or 3?
3 episodes. 3 of the 5
episodes
of season 4.
Yeah. How do you what do you think of it so far?
I like it. I like the new setting, the London aesthetic. It's my favorite genre of probably like movies or just like media in general is a sort of like whodunit type of mystery.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like checking all my boxes. And yeah, I don't know. I like the cast. Everyone seems good. They got our boy Alfred.
They did.
back.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I'm enjoying it. It's they're talking a lot about some like societal things a little bit, which I think they've done in a bit of the past as well.
They did in season 3 with COVID. They definitely they had some interesting thoughts about COVID in that one.
And now
now we're on to the rich.
Now we're poking fun at the rich, and
it works.
I'll never mind
points.
it. Yeah.
I mean,
I love trashing NFTs. So
yeah, that's pretty. That was good.
What about you? How you liking it?
I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that I was a little worried about how they would continue the story. I just felt like, can you really have him chasing another girl and doing this shit again? Like we kind of we were through that. We went through that.
Yep.
So I was a little worried that we'd be just chasing. I already forgot her name. Madeline? Don't remember her name. I already don't remember her name.
Oh man.
Whatever her name is.
Yep.
I was worried that they were gonna have another season of him chasing another girl and things going wrong and blah blah blah. But they went a different direction, and I think it was probably the best direction they could have went in. It's really interesting seeing a serial killer try to figure out who another serial killer is. I think it's really fun. And yeah, setting's great. London, it's all old feeling, you know, the architecture, and you got the rich pieces of shit, and they're portraying them pretty accurately. Yeah, I don't know. It's great so far. I'm invested enough, and I think that's what's important. Is like, I didn't want, when we watched the last episode I was like, fuck, like, I don't want to wait for the next one. Like, I just want to watch it. I think if you can get me to do that, it's important to me. It's a good show.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, good old whodunit. Who doesn't like a good old whodunit, man? I know they trash the fuck out of it in the show.
They do. But
it's I'm a simple man. I just like cool, fun stories. Yeah. So, we'll see how it ends. We'll see. I know it's split, so that's gonna suck a little bit, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I was really worried about where they were gonna go. Like, I really didn't know what the next step would have been. It almost feels like they had an idea and they changed it. Like, they had almost... It seemed like they were setting up for a Paris season. But they kind of just said, no, we're in London. That didn't last long. Like, which is interesting. I don't know if that was on purpose, if they knew that, or if they kind of just didn't know what the next step was going to be prior.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's also been pretty successful, which is good as well. I feel like I've been seeing a lot about it, so yeah, it's good. It's probably Netflix's only thing for me right now that's really keeping me anywhere near Netflix, so
yeah, good
for them. I am curious, it's a Warner Brothers property, right?
I think so.
So like, how long will it stay on Netflix? Because you'd have to imagine they'd be like, hey, yo, kind of want it on HBO Max, you know? So it makes me curious how long Netflix has the rights for it.
Did it start as it's not even a Netflix original, right? It's just on Netflix.
Well, didn't it start as like a CW show?
I think it might have, because like they had those weird like commercial break times.
Yeah. I think it started as a CW show, and then CW didn't want it anymore. Netflix picked it up, it got popular on Netflix, and then that's how we're here. Right. I think that's kind of what happened. So they've already switched studios once or twice, because I also don't remember them being a Warner Brothers property. It was definitely like CW or one of those TV channels. So yeah, I don't know how long they'll stay on Netflix, but we'll see. I'd imagine Netflix is trying to keep it for dear life right now. So, yeah, I don't know. 10 out of 10 so far. I think the other seasons were probably a 10 out of 10 for me as well. Maybe the third one a little less, but yeah. Season 2 was a bang. Season 2 was the play. Season 2 was amazing. But yeah, we'll see how they end it. We'll see where they go from here. I think it's definitely doing a good job so far. We've had some good TV this year, we're very lucky to have some good TV this year.
Keeps up, but I don't exactly know what else is coming around.
I don't know, but I'm hoping something. I'm hoping the rest of the year isn't just empty. Yeah. What else is there? I feel like we had another topic. Last of Us, Superbowl U. I guess we kind of covered all the entertainment stuff. Guess we could kind of talk about the the UFO situation that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
If I'm sure people know about it, or I guess if you don't live in a Western country, you're probably not paying too much attention to it. There have now been, I think, 4 or 5. I believe it was 4 last time I checked.
Yep, 4.
4 unidentified objects, or the first one was a Chinese balloon.
Yep.
They're not saying, I mean, they said it was a spy balloon, but then other people are saying it's for like meteorology. I don't know what it is. It was Chinese, is the point. But the other 3 have not been identified yet.
No.
And they said they're different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think about it? Because there was one in Canada that they shot down. There was one in Michigan, one in Montana, and one in North Carolina, I believe.
I have all 4 of them up right here. So February 4th was the Chinese spy balloon suspected, which was shot down over the Atlantic Ocean. On the 10th, there was an unidentified object in Alaska, U.S. shot down. On the 11th, there was a unidentified object that entered Canadian airspace Canadian airspace.
Airspace.
Which a U.S. fighter jet shot down
Mm-hmm.
over the Yukon, and then on the 12th, they shot down another unidentified object over Lake
Huron.
Huron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Michigan.
The fourth such downing in 8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did hear that maybe they changed something on their radar technology to see them, and that they've always kind of been there. Now they're seeing them.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. I didn't fact check. I just saw that they've changed it to start detecting lower speeds.
Yeah.
So it's possible that like a lot of whatever they're detecting has been like around for a while. They just didn't have their parameters set to notice or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like there's a lot of weird shit going on right now in North America specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel like? What do you think it is? I mean, it's hard to imagine if the first one was a spy balloon, that the other ones wouldn't also be just maybe not even Chinese. But I mean, if that's a glaring like I don't know what I'm trying to say, weakness in your system, you'd think that other countries would probably find out and be like, hey, this is easy. You send some balloons in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think it means for them to shoot it down? I feel like is a big deal.
Yeah. Because I mean, at first they said they weren't gonna do anything with it, and then a day or two later they shot it down.
Yeah.
I saw China was saying that like they've discovered like at least 10 like spy balloons from the U.S. since like 2020 or 2022. Sorry, whether that's true. I mean, I don't know. I didn't do too much research into any of this, but I don't know. The world's in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, it seems like there's just weirder and weirder shit happening like every day. I don't know. This is but this is probably the weirdest I've ever felt. It just feels weird. Something about it feels off.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really worried about war or anything like that, but it just feels odd. I don't know if we've ever had anything like this happen in the last ever. I don't know. Have we ever had to shoot down spy balloons in North America at like an alarming rate? I don't think that's ever happened. So
not like
at least not that we know about anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a little. The only reason I'm a little weary about it or a little like confused is that they're very openly talking about it.
Yeah.
So it almost makes me feel like maybe they don't know what it is. Because I feel like if they knew what it was and it was spy technology from another country, you'd almost think they wouldn't really advertise that. You'd think they'd probably keep that close to the chest. But the fact that they're like, yeah, we don't really know what it is, and we're trying to recover wreckage from the lake and all this stuff, and they're just saying that it's a car-sized object.
Yeah. Which
seems small, which is odd. Like, a car-sized... I mean, that's pretty small when we're talking about... I don't know. I guess if it's like a spy drone or some shit, then it's not that far-fetched, but... I don't know. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like... I don't know. Do you feel scared at all? Do you feel like some weird
not
shit
super
going on?
concerned.
Yeah.
Really. But I don't know. It's weird that like why now? I guess like what switched that now there's all these objects we don't know what they are.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know.
I mean, I know a lot of people are saying aliens. It's aliens.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's
aliens.
I don't
know. I don't think
I feel like
that.
If they were alien, you really think that a fighter jet would be able to shoot down like a crazy alien technology? You would
like
think
if they were able to get here, their technology must be like
way better than ours.
Way better, unless they just have like a way longer. Well, we're getting way too deep. Unless they had like a way longer lifespan and like they can like sustain a trip like light years away, because like way dead before we could do anything like that.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, you'd think that they're. Yeah, I feel like there's no way that their lifespans are long enough to be able to last a trip that long. You'd think that they would need some kind of crazy speed to be able to get here. Unless they're not that far. But, yeah, I don't know. They're also at 20,000 feet, which is kind of low.
Yeah, the recent one was 20,000, and the others were around 40,000.
Yeah, so it's not crazy high up. 40,000 is pretty high, but that's like private jet level of flying.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's anything crazy. I think it might just be maybe a bit of a glaring weakness in some of the technology we use. It is interesting that the one in Canada was shut down, which means that it's a weakness that's been exploited in different countries, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like for them to really make a decision to shoot it down is a big deal. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes out about it. We'll see what happens. I can't help but feel like it's not going to be anything serious, but you also never know. I mean, a lot of wars have started over a lot less, so
yeah,
you never know. But I also feel like you can't really start, like, the country that was spying can't really start the war if it's like you were caught spying, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You shot down our spy balloon. Fuck you. It's like, well, you were spying. Did you really think, like, you're in the wrong 100% here. So, I don't know. I guess, I don't know if China's strategy here is like, well, the US spies on us too. Like, they started it first. But
what are you getting out of a spy balloon?
I know that there are, for the Montana one, there are certain military bases that would be useful to have an overview, like a top-down view of them. That would be the only thing I could think of, is like looking over military bases and stuff. Maybe seeing strategies or seeing where certain things are being held, you know, just stuff like that. Maybe supply routes and stuff. But other than that, I don't know if there would really be a reason. But there's also, I don't know, I mean, I know China owns a lot of US farmland, which is interesting. I don't know what the reason for that would be. I know they own a lot of farmland kind of close to some of these military bases, so I don't really know what the strategy is there, but I would imagine if you'd have some kind of aerial, maybe imaging type of aircraft, you would probably just be taking pictures of military bases. But again, I don't know how useful that would be, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I can't really think of a reason. But then again, you have to think about where the other ones were shot down. They were kind of shot down in weird spots. Like, I don't know why there would be one over Lake Huron in Michigan. Like, you kind of think, like, what the fuck? Why are you there? Like, there's nothing there. It's just a lake. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning would be. Maybe communications. Maybe they're at a,
I don't know,
like a height or the frequency. They can tap into the frequency or some shit. I don't know. I'm not smart. But you'd imagine if they're there, there's a good reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be. But they seem pretty transparent about all of it, so I feel like maybe we'll find out. I don't know. I know people in the States and again in Canada are a little, you know, I don't trust the government. I don't trust what they tell me. So at this point, even if they say what it is, I don't think anyone's gonna believe it. But it'll be interesting. I don't know. Just have to see what comes from it. But you would have to imagine, though, if there's spy balloons in the U.S., the U.S. is doing the same shit somewhere else. I mean,
oh yeah,
you have to imagine. A lot of people like to say that the U.S. doesn't do anything, but you're like, I mean, come on now. If China's got TikTok, what does the U.S. have over there? That's all I'm saying. You know, like there's never going to be a moment where it's not at least trying to be balanced. Do you know what I mean? That's like the warfare thing. It's like, that's the only reason we have innovative technology is because we need to keep up with other countries. So you'd have to imagine we're doing the same shit somewhere else. So I don't know. We'll see. It'd be kind of wild if we just randomly had a war over some spy balloons, but I don't know. Just have to see. I do find it interesting that little things happen and then we just say, like, fuck Ukraine. Like, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's a US spy balloon. Ukraine doesn't matter anymore. Let's move on to this thing. But or I know there's stuff about the Ohio thing. It's kind of a big deal right now. A lot of people are saying, like, why are you focused on UFOs? There's a Chernobyl level disaster, is that what he said? So I don't know, but the world's always gonna be fucked up. But this is definitely a weird time where you kind of, I don't know. Some days you check the news and you're just like, what? What? Like, what? How? Why? What's happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird time. Speaking of news and interesting things, scientists have confirmed that the Last of Us type fungus is only 3 steps away.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is interesting. Granted, the steps were pretty big.
Yeah.
But not that crazy. Like, it's just saying, we'd have to lose immunity. Or our immunity would have to become weak. Or the weather would have to change.
Yep.
So, what do you think about that? How do you feel?
I mean...
It's kind of wild,
It makes sense. It's wild to think, but... I don't know, man.
I mean, you have to imagine at some point...
It's gonna get there.
Yeah, as long as there's not some crazy catastrophic event, like an asteroid hitting Earth or, I don't know, something crazy, poles switching, all that kind of shit that can go wrong. You'd have to imagine at some point it's gonna happen. It just is kind of like, when will it happen?
The world keeps getting warmer. Yeah.
It does, and I mean, you gotta imagine if that's the one thing, and we're kind of, it's happening at an alarming rate. It also makes you think about other things that can happen, like maybe not just fungus, but certain viruses and certain disease that we thought wouldn't be a problem, but then become a problem. It is a little worrying because it's like, damn, you look at how the world kind of had to deal with COVID and how we pretty much just didn't work. Like, nothing worked, really. It makes you wonder what would happen if we did have a fungus like that could kind of infect at a rate like that. I don't know if we'd think we'd be done, to be honest with you.
What if
we'd be pretty fucked?
What if it wasn't that bad, but like just because of this like portrayal through like media, like with The Last of Us,
we go crazy.
Yeah, like we go like way crazy, and it's like it's not that bad, and then like just fuck shit up ourselves. I'm sure it will be that bad, but I'm just like interested if like something were to happen like at the same time as,
and we
like,
jump the gun a little bit.
Some popular media.
Yeah. How people would feel about it. I'll say I don't think we would know. There's no way.
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell us. There's no way they would tell us. Because of the media portrayal, if the government came out and said like, hey, it's kind of like a fungus right now. It's like getting into people and killing them. I don't think we'd know, dude. I think they'd try to figure out what to do first, and if it's all else is lost, it would just kind of happen.
Yeah.
Because I just like, what do you? If you tell people that, it's gonna be pandemonium. Like, it's just gonna be, people are gonna go crazy. So I don't know, we'll see. I just hope that it does happen. I'm not on a plane, because it's not something I want to deal with, and that I'm somewhere kind of rural. That would be my hope. But you never know, man. It's just tough. I mean, like, I don't know. What would you do? What would your first survival step be? Like, what would the first thing you would do? You hear like there's a fungus coming. It's like a crazy event. Shit's going down. What are you doing first?
Finding my redneck family members.
Yeah.
Trusting them.
Go out there with their guns. Yeah.
They got their survival instincts.
But like, how would you, like, what do you do? Like, you don't have a car. You have to imagine transportation's not a thing anymore. Are you just fucking walking? Like, just fuck it.
I'm gonna grab some men, grab some boys. Get through this together. One of us gets bit, doesn't tell us.
And then you all die.
Yep.
I don't know, man. That's I don't know what I'd do. I think a part of me probably wouldn't do anything, to be dead honest with you. I think a part of me would just like, maybe I'd go get a burger and come back home and just watch some TV, and it is what it is, because I don't know if I have that much investment. It sounds really bad. I don't have that much investment in life to be like, man, I gotta survive. I think I'd just be like, yeah, well, here we are,
About time.
Yeah. Also, where I live, we don't really have fresh water, so I'd be fucked. Like, pretty fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to go raid some pharmacies, Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you'd be done. Yeah, you'd be fucked
so quickly.
Yeah, Sauce, if people don't know, he has diabetes, so...
Yeah. We would not last long.
Yeah, you'd have to...
Post-apocalyptic world, like, I'm fucked. I tried to say the word into fucking post-apocalyptic. Is that how it said? I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd be so dead.
Yeah, you'd be in a tough spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd have to make sure you got candy on deck.
Yes, sir.
For sure. But
I'm gonna have to loot. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
looter.
Yeah. You have to make some tough decisions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How long does insulin last? Because don't you have to keep it refrigerated?
Yeah.
So, like,
you have a month if it's
you're
room temperature. Yeah.
done, dude.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. Yeah, I hope you find like a big insulin producer that has a generator and then just like try to keep that going.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that'd be tough.
Unlikely.
Yeah, you'd be done. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That is tough. Anyway, let me look through my notes because I know I had some other stuff to talk about. Getting towards the end of... Oh, yeah, I guess I could tell my story that I was going to tell.
Yes.
So, as a wee lad, I used to go to gas stations late at night, and I think maybe you've heard the story, but it's a fun story. I'd go to the gas stations late at night, whether I need gas or just snacks. In the States, the gas stations are open all the time, so I went late at night. At this time, I needed to get gas, so, I'm pumping up my tank, and, this guy comes up to me, and he's like, he's a bit of a shady character.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, man. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm getting gas, man. And he had a trench coat, like a green trench coat, but he was definitely homeless and insane. And he was like, hey, I kind of want to sell you something. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay. Like, I don't carry cash, and I'm not gonna buy it from you regardless. But I was like, sure. And he brought out a knife,
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I just thought he was selling me a knife. And so I kept talking to him like he wasn't trying to rob me. So he was like, you like this knife? And he like flipped it out and he pointed at me. I was like, nice knife, man. And he was like, he kind of looked, later on looking back at it,
Yeah.
he kind of looked at me like, are you fucking serious? And I was like, it's a nice knife. And he was like, yeah. You want to buy it? And he like moved it closer. I was like, nope. And then he kind of gave me this face again, like, what the fuck? I'm trying to rob this guy. Like, what's happening? Yeah. And he was like, you got any cash on you? I was like, nope. And I just said, have a good night. And I walked away. And I never saw him again. And I just thought it was hilarious that I was getting mugged and I didn't realize I was getting mugged.
Oh, no.
So, never saw him again. But yeah, I could have gotten stabbed. But I really thought
what brand is that? Yeah, that's real sharp.
I really thought he was trying to sell me a knife, pointing a knife at me, asking if I had cash on me. It's like every step of getting mugged, and I just didn't. I was just like, yeah, have a good night, man. That was it. And I wish I was in his head for a moment, just being like, this fuck, I'm trying to mug this guy. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my stupidity somehow kind of saved me. I think he was so baffled at the fact that I didn't give a shit that he was mugging me. Mm-hmm. And then I went inside and he was like, "Hey, are you alright, man?" And I was like, "Yeah, the guy was trying to sell me a knife." And he was like, "Right." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." And I had to talk about it. So yeah, that was my fun mugging story.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mugged and didn't realize it. So I have a bit of a. I'm special. But yeah, you have any stories like that? Just shit that you were just like, what the fuck, like, happened? Like, how did that come about?
Not off the top of my head.
It's
I
happened
probably
a
would
lot
have
to me at this point.
had to think.
Yeah. But yeah, I got mugged and didn't realize it. So it's a special talent of mine.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah. Well, is there anything? We're getting kind of close to the end here.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to talk about?
It's just stuff I saw throughout the week.
Okay.
A World War II era bomb exploded in the UK. So, they found a bomb, a World War II bomb, that exploded on Friday. Let's see. It's a 250 kilogram explosive. They found it on Tuesday when a contractor who was doing work in the area discovered it. They cleared out everyone, got like the bomb unit or whatever. Was summoned. They closed roads and everything. on Friday they were getting ready to begin work to disarm the explosive, and then it just somehow detonated. And
Oh
yeah,
man, did anyone die?
nope, no one got injured.
Okay.
They caught the explosion on a police cam, I think, but yeah, nobody injured.
Wow.
But it's just interesting.
A World War II era bomb just chilling.
Yeah, just
How
chilling
did that
in
happen? 250
someone's
kilogram? I
basement
feel
or
like that's
something.
kind of big, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's 550 pounds. It's pretty.
that's a pretty hefty, boy.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. Man, sucks to be that contractor, bro. You just like,
Yeah.
you just hear a metal ding when you're using your forklift. You're like, oh, what?
Oh shit. It's like a
Yo.
fucking hot fuzz.
Yo, that would suck. But wow, at least no one was hurt. But that's why. How did that even sound?
I don't. Who's
I know-
storing?
I know there's a bunch of mines, like trip mines, that are
Yeah.
still in like Vietnam and stuff like that. There's like hundreds of thousands of just that are just still there. But it makes you think like, how the fuck did how did that just stay there and no one said anything? Like
Mm-hmm.
it must have fell out of a plane and just not detonated or
Detonated,
something. But,
yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how many bombs are like in.
Just
This
around.
is like it's like a bomb under a street in New York that no one knows about from like
Mhm.
forever ago. But it's interesting. I wonder how it detonated. Like someone just.
Yeah.
I don't feel like things don't just detonate. you know?
Detonate. Yeah.
But it's interesting. I don't know. I would love to find those like channels on YouTube that like go in rivers and like the bottom of the ocean and stuff and like find
yeah.
old shit. I would love to do that. I don't have the balls to do that because there's too much shit down there that I don't want to fuck with, like snapping turtles and just shit
Mhm.
that I don't know. I don't want to die, so I'm not rummaging around at the bottom of a river.
Yeah.
But really cool to find like there's a lot of World War II era and like 70s shit that just ends up at the bottom of rivers. It's like really cool. Like they find
Mhm.
grenades down there all the time and shit.
Oh yeah.
Or you find a body, but that seems kind of fun.
Both good
Yeah.
options. Yeah.
Yeah, find some bones, solving
All
a
about
murder.
discovery. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, is there anything else to talk about today? I really thought we'd have more to talk about. We kind of blew through everything
We
fast.
did. There was
Yeah.
the Turkey earthquake. Turkey and
Oof.
Syria.
Yeah, man. I
Seen some rough pictures
yeah.
on the internet.
Yes. Very rough stuff.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I don't know. There was one picture that really fucked me up. I think I sent it to you.
Mhm.
It was the guy holding his daughter's hand.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the geography of where our viewers are. But if we have anyone in Turkey or in Syria, which Syria seems less likely, but Turkey at least, I hope that you're okay, and I hope that everyone around you is okay. And yeah, it's just tough, man. You hate to see shit like that. It's just it happens, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's really I don't know what the death toll is now, but I feel like I heard something around 20,000,
Yeah, looks like
which is
over 36,000 today.
god damn.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just can't imagine. And I just can't imagine. I've seen tornadoes and shit, but that's not even fucking close. I mean, what was it was it in the 7s or 8s?
I think it was an 8 magnitude, I want to say.
It's pretty high. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
for an area that doesn't get earthquakes like that often. Man, yeah, I don't know. You hate to see it, and I hope. I don't know. It sucks seeing. You know what? It always sucks when you see a child's life get
Mhm.
lost because you just think, man, they didn't even have a chance. They didn't have a
Yeah.
chance to experience anything. But it does, in a fucked up way, it makes you appreciate your own life a lot because you kind of realize, like, man, I'm really lucky to be able to even be this old and experience the things I've experienced. And I think if you can look at this, if there's anything, it's all terrible. But
Mhm.
I think you should look at it and appreciate your own life a lot and say, like, even if shit's really bad for you right now, it's real easy to get depressed and, like,
Yeah.
sit in your room and be like, man, fucking, I'm 20 and I'm alone, and it's easy to be like that. But I think if anything you should take away from this is just appreciate that you're 20 and that you're going through things, or appreciate that you're whatever age you are, and that you're even able to go through anything you're going through, because a lot of people don't have that luxury. So
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Donate to charity, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of tough. You can't really trust a lot of charities now, which is unfortunate. But the thought that counts, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a tough one. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's a dark topic to end it on, Sauce.
I was gonna fit it in when we were talking about world news, but
yeah,
we segued into something.
Went into something else. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. When was the last big earthquake? Was it Japan? Or maybe there was one in Indonesia recently that was kind of big. But,
yeah.
Yeah. Earthquakes scare the fuck out of me. I'll be honest with you. Earthquakes and tsunamis are the ones that I'm just like deathly afraid of. Yeah. Because I feel like getting crushed and drowning, it's one of the worst ways to go, in my opinion. Yeah, things that are so big you can't even run away from. Like, that's insane. Like a tsunami, can you imagine seeing a tsunami wave coming towards you? Like, I don't even know. I mean, that's an insane thought to like see a tsunami. Like, you're fucking done. Like, there's no way you're getting out of that. And, yeah, I don't know, man. But hopefully not anyone that listens to this, and hopefully we don't have to deal with anything like that. But, shit happens, and it is what it is. I know California's due for a big one, so see how they handle that one. I feel like that one's going to be tough. But yeah. Anyway, my camera's been on focus for a while. It's really annoying me, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't think we're going to have a clip about Turkey.
No.
Well, is there anything else you wanna put in here? Or?
No, that's all I had for today.
Yeah, I think we covered about everything. I guess we could talk. I mean, the shorts have been doing really well. Shout out to anybody who's watching this from the shorts. I know we've been gaining a few subs, which is cool. I've been getting flamed relentlessly the past few weeks, but
we read all the comments.
We do. We sure do. We do. We read them. There was a good one. That Motorola Razr one was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I got some bad takes, but they're my takes, so fuck you. The Dark Knight one. I knew the Dark Knight one. I knew the Harry Potter one was gonna be tough, but the Dark Knight one was, oof.
Yeah.
Man, that was tough. But hey, man, everybody has an opinion. But yeah, shout out to giving us a view, even if you commented a bad comment. So, kind of, helped us out a little bit anyway. So, but yeah, that was fun. I'll promise to bring some more upsetting takes your way to just to piss people off. I don't think I have a lot more. Those are kind of my most controversial ones. But who knows, But yeah. I guess we'll go ahead and end it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Good old hour in. Don't forget to sub and like and do all that shit that helps the channel. I guess I should have said it at the beginning. I kind of mentioned it, but we're going to start releasing Wednesday, 5 a.m., I think Central, I believe is what I had. Yeah, 5 a.m. Central.
Yep.
So that's the new time. If you're looking for the podcast, that's what time it'll be out. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, thank you for watching, anybody who's watching. And we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Peace.
Bye-bye.